Okay, so if you have not lived under a complete fucking rock for many years, all of us have played Grand Theft Auto 3. One of my absolute, no, not one, my absolute favorite Grand Theft Auto. The atmosphere, the game, the charm. One of the pioneers of that next-gen free-for-all criminal game. Love Grand Theft Auto 3. And there were a few things about it that I was curious about in all of the chaos. Okay, first off, when Claude gets to Portland. Now, the city is completely gang-ridden. Mafia, Triad, Diablo, everything is over there in Portland. Why is all the gang's turf so fucking close together? I've never understood that. Literally, when you go up to St. Mark's, the Mafia ground is right there on the hill, coming down toward the main street. And right there at the street is the Triad. So wait a minute, if the Triad, someone from the Triad literally walked up the street to the stoplight, that's the Mafia turf. Someone from the Mafia drive past that light, that's the Triad turf. Why was the turf in the game like one street over from each other? Literally, I could stand there at a light, look this way, oh, there's Mafia Street. This way, oh, there's Diablo Street. Wouldn't there be constant fighting in real life if these were like right on top of each other the way they are in the game? Seriously?
Venga, fatti solo. You don't love it, you driver.
The ammunition guy. In all these earlier Grand Theft Autos, but in GTA 3 especially, when you walk into ammunition, what gun seller just leaves fully loaded weapons just floating around for you to pick up? Think about that. There was not one time where I could walk into ammunition, take the gun, point at the guy behind the fucking counter, blow him away, and take his shotgun and run out the store. Because he leaves the ammo right there for you to just pick up. Because in Vice City, remember, when you walked into the ammunition store in Vice City, the guy had the guns behind him on the behind the counter. You had to pick which ones and then he'd give it to you and then you blast his ass off. But in 3, Clyde can just walk in, grab a pistol, aim at the fucking guy if he doesn't blow Claude the fuck away, kill him, take his shotgun, run. Why do you leave weapons out for a psychomaniac to come in there and take them? Another thing, Claude and Tommy Vercetti are not the same guy. I have heard this argument for years. They're not the same fucking guy. They don't look remotely close to being the same guy. Where Tommy actually says, you know, shut the fuck up or get out of here, Claude Speed obviously doesn't have a fucking tongue, considering he hasn't talked since Grand Theft Auto 2. It's not the same guy, and people need to stop saying that. He's not. Another thing, why is Claude so greatly overpaid for doing small, minute things? Miniature missions, like when Luigi sends him to go pick up Misty from the hospital. He comes back, he drops Misty off, literally right up the street, going past Triad turf, because the Mafia's street is right here, the hospital's here, and Triad's here. To go pick up Misty, bring her back to the club, he give him $1,500 for that.
Just like Felipe.
Who the fuck gives you $1,500 to drive literally 2 blocks to pick up a girl and bring her back to the building? Nobody. You better be giving me $1,500 if she worked in the fucking White House or something. God damn. Claude was like, Claude literally in real life, if he got paid, imagine if he did work and for a whole week and got that much money, he would be rich right off the back. You wouldn't even need a money code. Another thing, why do all the gang leaders and these people you never meet, you only see them on like the little cartoon drawings and the loading screens of the game? Why do they call you on a random telephone?
Liberdunist has stolen a van of my latest publication hot off the press. But that spanked up idiot has left the rear doors open, and now my beautifully produced, tastefully photographed adult literature is being dropped all over Liberty. Take the van and follow that trail of Donkey Does Dallas volumes 1, 2, and 3, collecting it as you go. When you follow the trail to that thieving spankhead, waste him. Then deliver my Donkey Derby to Triple X Max in the red light district.
What happens when Claude doesn't pick up and you get a police officer, or you get some random bystander walking around, or you get grandma or something like that to come pick up the goddamn phone, and you tell them shit that you're doing that they shouldn't know about, but you just happen to call that telephone as Clyde or Claude is going by it and give him the mission and details of what's going on. Even though you've got hundreds of fucking guys on the street in your gang that's not doing shit, just walking around punching old ladies in the pee and punching hookers in the back of the neck and throwing motherfuckers out of cars, vanishing after they take the damn car because they don't fence it or anything. You got all these motherfuckers walking the street, but you call a random telephone in hopes that one dude picks it up to do it for you. Not to mention anybody in your gang doesn't help Claude for shit. They just stand around. Speaking of Claude Speed in general, he just broke out of prison with 8 Ball on the bridge or whatnot. Fugitive, everything. His face is in the newspapers. Everything about him has been on the radio. You mean to tell me nobody notices Claude walking around casually in the streets? Even past the hundreds of sensitive police officers, nobody notices Clyde walking around and his face is all over the fucking Liberty City newspaper as an escaped convict. Nobody notices Clyde Speed walking around. That, I was just like, okay, everybody in Liberty City must be as fucking dumb as they are dumb looking. Obviously. You don't see this motherfucker. Okay, why is the Yakuza in New York out in the open and on Staten Island? Last I checked, the Yakuza does not work New York in America. The Yakuza originates from Japan. I don't think the Yamaguchi Gumi or any of the other triad families would be out in the open in New York fighting Colombians who are right up the street because the damn turf is right on top of each other. Would be out in the open. New York is a Mafia 5 family city. How could the Yakuza come in with their organization without going through any branch of Mafia or trouble with Mafia? How is that possible? The Mafia wouldn't know if another organization was coming into their neighborhood, reaping any benefits of the Cosa Nostra. Mafia. Speaking of Mafia, the Leone family. After Claude kills Salvatore Leone, who's deserved this ass whooping since San Andreas, why is there only one Mafia family in all of New York? Why is there not multiple families on each island that are after Claude for popping the Don? There's only one Mafia family on one side of town. All Clyde has to do apparently is just go to Staten Island and he can avoid the Mafia. That's crazy. There should be multiple around there on watch for Claude. But nope, he can get away with killing a Mafia Don, just cross the bridge. And another question. The Colombian drug cartel are out in the open. The Jamaican, well, they're called Yardis, but they're a Jamaican cartel. The Jamaican drug cartel is out in the open. Their turf is literally 2 stoplights up from each other. They're both combining to face the Yakuza in New York. How do they have these 3 major worldwide notorious criminal organizations fighting on one side of New York that's supposed to be Mafia 5 familyed? How is that possible with no interference from anyone else that these 3 organizations are on one side fighting each other? What? And the last thing I was really curious about. Catalina, the girl who portrays Claude in the beginning of the game.
Sorry, babe. I'm an ambitious girl. You're just small time.
Now, if you remember specifically, when Claude worked for the Leone family, there was a mission where he had to follow Curly Bob, who was telling Catalina and the Colombian cartel the Mafia's doings, what they were doing. And Claude had to follow Curly Bob to the boat where Catalina was. Why didn't Clyde just go up the stairs there with a sniper rifle and just pop Catalina, Miguel, and Curly Bob right then and there? He didn't even have to wait to the end of the game to have that showdown with her. In that mission specifically, he could have fucking knocked out 2 birds with 1 stone. But yet again, Clyde needs a reason to continue meeting other organizations in New York that should not be in New York to progress in the game to make it longer. I can understand that. But logically, Clyde could have just took her out with a sniper rifle right there. He didn't have to wait to the end of the game to kill her. But there's a few things I was always curious about in GTA 3. You know, let me know what you guys think, if you had any curiosities, or you can answer any of my strange curiosities about the game. Later, guys.